premium Greenbelt American Lager. This is my Grandpa Frank's favorite beer back in the day. And they took it away, and then some hipsters brought it back. And then now it's my favorite beer, so funny how that works out. This is a pawn shop story about a white supremacist. I'm from North Dakota, and this made national news. It was kind of fun. Like, white supremacy isn't fun, but the whole ordeal was kind of fun because, like, I was kind of involved in, like, a weird way. I'm not involved, but, like, I was there from the beginning, and it was kind of cool. But, so I worked at a pawn shop for about 5 years. I dare say I managed it. I started working there for my uncle, and then he got cancer right away, and then, so I started, like, running that shit full time. And, I became, like, a hardened criminal working at the pawn shop for sure. Like, unflappable. Like, people would threaten to kill me, and, like, I had to deal with, like, meth heads and crack heads and gangbangers, and it was awesome. Like, it was the time of my life. And, so anyway, a couple years deep in working at the pawn shop, this one, like, guy, like, comes in, and he's dressed like Ancient Aliens. Like, he's got, like, he's wearing the Canadian tuxedo, he's got a jean jacket on, he's got a white shirt tucked into his jeans. He's got, like, the regular big glasses, but with, like, the flip down, like sunglasses over him, like, long, crazy hair and a little beard, and just, like, a creepy little dude. And he's walking around the pawn shop, and he's looking for an air conditioner, so I sell him an air conditioner. But the few times I sold him something, he never paid with cash. He always, like, bartered with me. He had these silver eagles, 1920 silver dollar coins that weren't worth that much. But he gave me a couple of them in exchange for an air conditioner. And I was like, that's a fair trade, because you don't see a silver eagle every day. But you see a lot of air conditioners, so. And he was living in his car at the time, because he's a weirdo piece of shit. Craig Cobb. And so he would just, like, walk around the pawn shop. We bartered on this air conditioner, and I was like, oh, what do you do? Making small talk. He's like, I'm on the radio. My name is Craig Cobb. Look me up. I was like, okay. And at the pawn shop, I'm in front of a computer all day, like, looking up prices. I'm selling shit online. So I look him up, and I dive deep into it, dude. He's like a fucking weirdo. Like, he broadcasts his white supremacy bullshit on some, like, weird, like, Eastern European server where they don't have any laws. So on his website, he can post videos of, like, people getting their heads cut off and shit. And, like, one of the first videos of his I saw was, like, he used to live in Hawaii, and he was calling Hawaiians pineapple N-words. And he had all these stories about, he's like, I used to be a taxi driver, I drive Barry around. It was when Barack Obama was president. I drive Barry around. I knew him, he smoked a lot of pot. I was like, you didn't drive Barack Obama around. You fucking liar. But anyway, so I met Craig Cobb, and I see him around town sometimes. And then he started doing his thing. They made a movie about it. He started, like, posting on these, like, white supremacist forums about, like, he's like, hey, he moved into this small town called Leith, North Dakota, which is about maybe 8 miles from my grandparents. Like, every time somebody dies or gets married, like, we go down, like, by Leith to this other town called New Leipzig. And so, like, he was, like, on the way to my grandparents. He started, like, buying up properties in this small town. He's like, dude, we're going to make a white supremacy enclave. We're going to rule this town and this county. It's going to be lit, dude. But the thing was, there was only 2 people in his crew. It was this other white supremacist skinhead dude who wasn't very smart, and his wife, and they had some kids. And they all lived in a house that didn't have running water or electricity. So the news found out about all this, and some Native Americans came down. They made a protest. The news came. A bunch of people came down to, like, counter-protest. They held, like, a city council meeting where, like, the white supremacist guy, the NSM guy, Jeff Scoop, and his boys came down, and they spoke on behalf of white supremacy at the city hall meeting. But I've looked up Jeff Scoop recently, and he's turned a new leaf over. He's not a white supremacist anymore, so that's good. Like, but at the time, he was, like, pretty into it. He was, like, king skinhead in America. Maybe not that big, but, like, he was one of them. So yeah, they had this, like, counter protest, and me and my ex went. And we were wearing Free Carl shirts from Workaholics. And everyone was like, what can we do to save Carl, man? And we're like, he's just our fictional drug dealer. Like, he's fine. Like, okay, man. I don't have the footage anymore. I had an iPod Touch that I brought with me. I recorded some shit. There was like a good one of this older Native American lady being like, she gave a speech and she's like, "You will not make us hate you, and you will not make us fear you." And I like teared up. I was like, "That's some cool shit." And there was like riot police there. I got a picture with. They didn't. I was like, "Hey guys, can I get a picture?" And they're like, "Nah." And so we got a picture anyway. Just whatever. I wish I could find that picture. But so yeah, they made a movie called Welcome to Leith about it. It's on Amazon probably or Netflix. It's a really good movie, and at like the 1 hour and 5 minute mark or so, like I'm in the background of the city council meeting, and you can see me with a backwards hat, a flannel shirt with a free call shirt under it, and like a beard about this size. But I like asked some questions at the city council meeting, and I got like booed off the stage. So I mean, they didn't include it in the film or anything, but I'm in the movie for like half a second, so fucking check it out. But anyway, so Craig Cobb ended up taking like a DNA test, and he found out he was like African, like 14% or something. He was part of the reason I took a DNA test. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually like not black. I'm actually Jewish, so maybe we're all Jewish and black. Anyway, either way, Craig Cobb hates me. So anyway, I don't know where I'm going with this story. He cracked, and the other guy cracked, and nothing ever happened of his like little escapade of trying to take over the small town. But I knew Craig Cobb before he was famous, and that's my story. So white supremacy is bad. I left. Jeff Scoop had like this phone number, and after we left the rally, I like called him, and I got like really drunk, and I was like, "Hey, you fucking piece of shit," and then he called me back at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And he's like, "What is your problem with the National Socialist Movement?" I was like, "Bro, don't even get me started." So yeah, that was petty of him. But he's turned a new leaf now, so I'm proud of you, Jeff Scoop, for not being a white supremacist anymore. But Craig Cobb, I'm not proud of you. I'm pretty sure Craig Cobb lives with his mom now because he was in like house arrest because he did some like petty crimes when he was trying to take over the town. So good on you, bud. Salute. Drink Grain Belt. It's only available in the Midwest.